A very good morning, dear children. Today we are going to start with chapter 16, Reflection of Light. We are able to see our surrounding during the daytime because of the natural light that we get from the sun. And we are able to see everything at night when we use artificial sources of light like the bulb or the street light and other sources. So, from this, you understand that you are able to see everything around you mainly because of light. So, light and vision. Vision is nothing but your power to see things. So, light and vision, they are closely connected together. Without light, it is not possible to use that sense that we've got of vision. So, sense of vision is mainly because of light. Okay? So, what is reflection of light? Reflection of light is nothing but when the light rays fall on an object, their direction changes and they turn backward. This turning backward of the light ray is called as reflection of light. Now, this is a mirror. Onto this, the light ray which comes on it or the light ray that falls on the surface is called as the incident ray. Okay, so when a light ray falls onto the mirror, that light ray which falls on it is called as the incident ray. The point at which it comes and meets at the mirror or the point of incidence, this is called as the point of incidence. The point at which the incident ray falls is called as a point of incidence, and from there the ray that gets reflected backward is called as the reflected ray. Okay, so the ray that is going away from the surface, one ray is coming towards the surface, that is incident ray, and the ray that is going away from the surface is called as the reflected ray. Okay, so let's do this once again. We'll just term it to make it even more simple. We will label it or we will give it terms. So let's say that the mirror is PQ. Okay. You have the incident ray. This is a ray which falls on the surface. I told you it is an incident ray. So let's label it as being A. Okay. The point of incidence, let that be O. Now what I'm doing here is at the point of incidence I'm drawing a perpendicular. That means at 90 degree I'm drawing a line. This line is called as the normal. So if at the point of incidence you are drawing a perpendicular or at 90 degree or drawing a line, then this will be called as a normal. Because it is normal, we will term it as N. Okay, and from the point of incidence obviously there's going to be one ray which goes away from the surface, that is called as reflected ray. You term it as B. Okay, so here my incident ray, we'll repeat this again. My mirror is PQ, incident ray is AO, normal is NO, reflected ray is BO. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now AO is my incident ray. The angle that my incident ray is making with the normal, the angle that my incident ray is making with the normal, which is that, which area is that? This area. Okay, so the incident ray is making an angle with the normal. This angle is called as the angle of incidence. Why? Because that's the angle made by the incident ray. Okay, similarly, where is my reflected ray? BO or OB is my reflected ray. Okay, now the angle that the reflected ray is making with the normal, which is that area? This. Okay, so the angle that my reflected ray is making with the normal is called as angle of reflection. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Now based on this, you have three major and very important laws of reflection given. It is very important that you understand these laws because you're going to be using that in the higher classes also. So you have to understand this very well. So let's look at the first one. The first one says that angle of incidence is equal to angle of refraction. Anytime whenever you see a picture and you know about angle of incidence, you want to find out angle of reflection, you should understand that both are going to be equal. Okay, so if I say that my angle of incidence is 30 degree, then angle of reflection obviously will be 30. Okay, if angle of reflection is 45, then angle of incidence will also be 45. So whenever you understand angle of incidence, you should understand that angle of reflection will also be the same. Okay, the second one is the incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie in the same plane. Incident ray is AO, reflected ray is BO, normal is NO. All three of them lie in the same plane. That's simple. The third one says that the incident ray and the reflected ray, they are on opposite sides of the normal. It's clearly visible. AO and BO, they are both opposite sides of the normal NO. Okay, so these are the three very simple laws of reflection. First is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Second, incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie in the same plane. The incident ray and reflected ray are on opposite sides of the normal. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now we'll go on to check what are the types of reflection. There are two types of reflection. The first one is regular reflection. Whenever incident rays fall on a plane mirror or a smooth surface, what happens is that all the rays, all the parallel rays will have the same angle of incidence and therefore they will have the same angle of reflection. I repeat this, whenever incident rays fall onto a plane surface or a smooth surface, all the rays will have the same angle of incidence and will have the same angle of reflection. Such a reflection is called as regular reflection. Okay, now here in this picture you can see 5 parallel rays that are falling on the smooth surface. Every parallel ray will have the same angle of incidence. So if I'm telling you that the first one is 30, all of them will be 30. All parallel rays will be 30. So obviously if angle of incidence is 30, angle of reflection will also be 30 because according to the law it says angle of incidence will always be equal to angle of reflection. Okay, so every time parallel rays fall on the smooth surface, the angle of incidence will always be the same, and that is why it's called as regular reflection. Okay, now coming to irregular reflection. Whatever you learned, the opposite is that for irregular. Irregular means when the incident rays fall on a rough surface. Okay, even though they are parallel rays falling on the rough surface, their angle of incidences are not going to be the same. Every ray is going to have a different angle of incidence, and that is why every ray will have a different angle of reflection. That is why it's called irregular. Okay, irregular reflection means on the rough surface every angle is going to be different. So let's see this. On the left hand side, if you see, you have angle parallel rays coming. The angle of incidence, angle of reflection is the same. That is why, because why is it so? Because it's from a smooth surface. Okay, so everything is going to be equal. Now coming on to the right hand side, here if you see, parallel rays definitely are coming, but because some of it are moving down, some of it is moving up, that is why what happens, the angle changes. Okay, so angle of reflection and angle of incidence is different for the rough surface. Okay, so the one that you see on the left is regular and the one that you see on the right is irregular. Okay, but why are we learning all this reflection of light and everything? Because we use this reflection of light in a lot of places where all we will see. The first one where we use this is a kaleidoscope. Okay, now a kaleidoscope is basically using three mirrors and it uses a property of reflection of light. First of all, before I tell you what it is, I will first show you how exactly we can make this. Okay. Okay, so for a kaleidoscope, what you need is you need a cylindrical tube, you need three mirrors, you need plastic beads, and you need the eyepiece and the end cap. Now, the eyepiece and the end cap is nothing but it's just to close your cylindrical tube. It's just going to be attached on the ends of the tube to close it. That is all it's going to do. The end cap, if you see, it's slightly different. The end cap has a column, or it has a place where you can actually put the plastic beads. Okay, now if you see on the right hand side at the end, you can see that one compartment of the end cap clearly. That is a place where you're keeping your plastic beads. You'll understand why it is like that. Okay, so first what do you do is you take the mirrors, three mirrors you've got, and you attach it or you paste it in such a way that it forms a triangle. So you have the three mirrors attached in the form of a triangle, and what you do is you put it inside that plastic tube, or you put it inside the cylindrical tube. Once you put it inside the cylindrical tube, you close both the ends. You're going to put the eyepiece, you're going to put plastic beads inside the end cap, and you're going to put or close the entire cylindrical tube. Now what do you do is your kaleidoscope is ready. Now you only have to look through it. When you're looking through it, this is how it looks. The plastic beads, they reflect. So because you have mirrors kept, they reflect, and you have various designs that you form in the kaleidoscope. Okay, the speciality of a kaleidoscope is that the designs which you are getting through it, it does not repeat very easily. So every time the design is going to be different. All those people who make wallpapers to use, which are used to decorate the walls, or the cloth designers, they use kaleidoscope for making new designs. Okay, so this is all the designs that you get is mainly because of the reflection of the light from the plastic beads. So the plastic beads, as you're changing or moving them, they move towards each other, and you have beautiful designs which are being formed. Okay, so that's one place where you can actually use reflection of light. Another place where you use it is a periscope. Now you all must have seen submarines. Okay, now in submarines, a periscope is normally used to observe the things which are above the surface of water. Okay, so what are these periscope is going to do? It is used to observe and keep a watch on all the objects which are on the ground, or which are above from the surface. So that is where a periscope is being used. Okay, now I'll tell you, as I told you for kaleidoscope, I'll tell you for periscope also. For periscope, the only thing you need is you need cardboard. Okay, you need scissors, sellotape, and you need mirror. Now what are you going to do in this is, two mirrors are going to be used. These mirrors which are going to be used are going to be kept at 45 degree. That is very important. Okay, so you're going to keep the mirrors at 45 degree at both the ends of the cardboard, and then you will fold the cardboard. Okay, now before you fold, what do you have to do is you have to make a window, or you may have to make an opening exactly in front of the reflective side of the mirror. Okay, as you can see here, and then you close the cardboard. You make it in the form of a rectangular box. Okay, so this is how it will look. You will have two ends, and at both the ends you have mirrors which are kept at 45 degree. Okay, so this is how it will look when you keep it straight. You have mirrors at both the ends, at the top part also, and at the bottom also. You have two mirrors which have been kept at 45 degree. Okay, now how are you going to use this? Suppose if there's a person standing on the ground. Okay, the light that comes from that person, and as I told you that there is obviously going to be reflection of light. So whenever you have any object or any person, what normally happens is that the light from that person which is getting reflected, that moves straight into onto the first mirror. So you have the first mirror, the light rays will hit on the first mirror. Because it is kept at 45 degree, the light that is getting reflected from the first mirror will fall on the second mirror. Okay, that is the main reason why I told you that you have to keep the mirrors at 45 degree, because it is going to hit on the first mirror, from there get reflected and move on to the second mirror, and from the second mirror the reflection will come to the person who's using the periscope. So even though the person is above, or the person is standing at a higher level from where you are standing, you will be able to see that only because of this technique of keeping the mirrors at 45. And obviously it's using which technique? It's using the technique of reflection of light. So the light rays, because the light rays get reflected and they turn the direction and they move backward, you are able to use it in many other different places. Okay, I hope what I've told today is clear to all. So in the next class, we will be learning about numericals. So it is important that you understand laws of reflection and also the different concepts which we've learned today about incident ray, reflected ray, angle of incidence, angle of reflection. It's important that you know them so that numericals become simple for you. Okay? Thank you.